What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. James Mandingo Kirkland, bring that ass here, boy. Fuck you mean. Alright, so, in case you guys don't follow me on Instagram, where I initially announced the news, James Kirkland was scheduled to face Gabe Rosado on the Bernard Hopkins versus Kovalev card. Great card. That, to me, that made a great card. You have Crusher, who is a relentless guy with knockout power. Then you have the veteran who's older but battle-tested and clinical in Bernard Hopkins, who knows how to find a way to win. And you had a banger of a fight with Rosado and Kirkland. Two come-forward guys, two guys with heart, two guys that have power. And now Kirkland pulls out. So I got to spend some time talking about that. Also want to talk about Canelo news. So here's my rundown, just kind of covering both of those topics in a nutshell. As far as Kirkland, very fucking disappointed. Some people are suggesting, since Canelo Clottey wasn't announced today, that with the HBO deal, Canelo is going to be fighting back on HBO, as I mentioned to you guys. But some people are suggesting that Canelo is going to face either Gabe Rosado in December or James Kirkland, and that's the reason he pulled out. So I don't really know, because Canelo's next fight hasn't been announced. And that's the only thing that would kind of grant Kirkland a pass to me, is if he pulled out of the Rosado fight to fight Canelo, because that's a fight that I wanted to see and a lot of fans wanted to see, and it's it'll keep him active and everything. I still think, even if that is true, it's still fucked up. Like, don't sign on to fight Gabe Rosado and leave that man hanging. You know what I mean? He has a family, he has a livelihood to uphold, and you kind of leave him high and dry by pulling out of the fight to pursue something else. So that's the best possible scenario from what the situation is if he pulled out to fight Kirkland, because I think more people prefer Kirkland, Canelo versus Clottey and Canelo. I know I, for one, sure do. But again, it's still fucked up to Gabe Rosado. Props to Gabe Rosado, man. He's a sport. He's had some ups and downs with his career. He bit off more than he could chew. Took on Triple G. Didn't work out so well from him. He showed heart and probably gave Triple G more of a competitive fight, I guess you could say, than other people like Daniel Gale or Macklin, who fought scared. He's a true warrior, you know what I mean? It comes from that Philly cloth. But for Kirkland, I really struggle to understand his logic and kind of what goes through his head. And this dates back. The Carlos Molina fight, he was saying someone gave him some mystery black pills or something that made him have the shitty performance against Carlos Molina. Then the frequent hiring and firing. It reminds me of the Eminem lyric where he's like, I'm tired of being hired and fired the same day. Hiring and firing of Ann Wolf. It's like, what is the deal? Why do you hire her, then fire her, and then get back with her? I just don't understand, like, little decisions like that. Then he's with SMS Promotion. He's had an exciting Fight of the Year candidate with Glenn Tapia. Glenn Tapia has already fought again, I believe, and he was supposed to fight, but I think his fight got canceled for some kind of testing went wrong or whatever. But Kirkland had a great performance and he won, and he just went back to inactivity. So before 50 picked him up, he was inactive for a while, you know what I'm saying? And I understand he was dealing with some legal troubles and being separated from Golden Boy or whatever, but then 50 picked you up. It seems like you would get the ball rolling. So I just don't understand, you know what I mean? They offered, from my sources, they said they offered Triple G an HBO date with Kirkland. He turned that down. Then I'm hearing that Canelo and Kirkland was offered. He turned that down. Then he takes the Gabe Rosado fight. I'm like, cool. Still a good fight. Still a guy, you know what I mean, that you can't, like, overlook or whatever. And now he pulls out of that fight. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what? You know what I mean? What is it? Who do you want to fight? You know what I mean? And if I'm not mistaken, I got to watch it again, but in the post-fight after the Glenn Tapia victory, I could have swore James Kirkland said he wanted Canelo. So it's like, I understand maybe not wanting Triple G, especially after inactivity, because he's in a new weight class. And, you know what I mean, it's a tough fight because he's knocking everybody out, and he fights higher division than Kirkland has, you know what I mean, in his last fight. But why not Canelo? That's the guy you called out. And then on top of that, you pass up Canelo, take the Gabe Rosado fight, and then now you pulled out for some mysterious reason. So I mean, it's like I can't keep giving passes. Like, it's very disappointing for the fans. For the Hopkins Kovalev card, that was, you know what I mean, that was really what was making it even more enticing. So I heard they're trying to replace it with some bullshit that's not even comparable. So that's all I really got to say about Kirkland. Hopefully he is fighting Canelo, and you know what I mean, that's the reason he pulled out. If not, I mean, I just can't respect it. Is you can't keep going and disappearing into hiatuses and like inactivity. It's not good. It's not good for your career, your fan base, your body, your style. You know what I'm saying? Kirkland don't have a Bernard Hopkins, Juan Manuel Marquez, Floyd Mayweather type of style that's going to keep him fresh and keep him, you know what I mean? He gets hit. He's there to be hit. He's in brutal wars and shit, like Angulo and Glenn Tapia even. He's in those types of fights. So that style, you have a shelf life, you know what I mean? Anyway, let me talk about Canelo. Canelo announced the deal that I told you guys about with Oscar De La Hoya. He signed a long-term deal to fight back on HBO. So welcome back to HBO. I told you guys HBO has a good production value. I don't really agree with their commentary a lot of times, but their events are nice. You know what I mean? Their sponsorships, the telecast, the actual production value. I still like HBO 24/7. Good shots, good cinematography, good storyline, music, build up, and all that. So HBO has a lot of value when it comes to their actual productions. Canelo, I don't really know what his relationship was with Showtime. I think Steven Espinoza he feels betrayed because Canelo and Oscar went that route. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's right for you. And, you know what I mean, HBO is at the moment still bigger than Showtime in terms of total subscribership or viewership or whatever than Showtime boxing is. So, you know what I mean, Canelo, he's young, he's ambitious, he wants the numbers, you know what I mean, he wants that fan base. I think he generally wants that following, and he said it in a quote. He says his dream was to fight on HBO because he wants the maximum amount of people to get to see him perform, get to see him to fight. So I think by any means necessary, he was with it. Plus, like I said, HBO, they still have probably bigger budgets in general and stuff like that at the moment. So let me know what you guys think of Canelo fighting on HBO. Like I said, the biggest thing in the last video that I did talking about this subject, the biggest thing that I'm skeptical about is Canelo's not Al Heyman. So to me, this doesn't necessarily open the gate for Al Heyman fighters on HBO, which is what I want, because I would love to see Brandon Rios and Adrian Broner or Lucas Matisse, you know what I mean, fights like that. And Canelo was one of the, you know what I mean, the freebies where Oscar De La Hoya had him exclusively, and he wasn't under the Al Heyman influence. So I really don't know if we're going to see Al Heyman fighters on HBO anytime soon. Another thing I'm hearing, Heyman has started his own promotional company, Heyman Promotions, and he's trying to get it off and running. So if that's the case, I really don't see Broners and guys like that are under the Heyman banner fighting on HBO. I just don't see it. So we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. As far as Canelo's opponent, hopefully they choose someone good. Canelo said he wants to fight the best. He's taking on a pretty tough schedule from Austin Trout on to his current Edeslani Lara. So I hope he continues that stride. There's a lot of interesting matches to me. I think fights with like the better Charlo brother or Demetrius Andrade would probably be the most telling, because stylistically those styles have troubled him. There's other good action fights like James Kirkland, possibly Gabe Rosado. I would clearly lean towards Canelo if he were to fight Rosado, but that's just my opinion. So I'm curious to see if he's going to go the action route and try to get in a fight with, you know what I mean, like a Kirkland, someone who his skill set is better than, but they could possibly be bangers, or someone like a Clotty, or if it's going to be more so someone who stylistically has plagued him. And to me, that would be the Charlo brother or Demetrius Andrade. So let me know what you guys want to see. What do you want to see next for Canelo, his first HBO fight back? Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off.